So I see that you're going to be unidentified for your organization. Tell me more about it, please.
All About Fitness. What All About Fitness offers is boot camp style workouts. We offer mental fitness, which are mental seminars to help you with stress management and things of that nature. Then we offer physical fitness, which are the boot style.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. The boot camp style workouts, which are Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 245 Ruth Street in Spring Lake, behind the police department.
Okay.
Somewhat of a better understanding of the chemicals that are in our foods that our foods are processed with. Benzoyl peroxide being one of them. And if you're as young as I am, you remember the Clearcell commercial and the jingle from back in the day with Clearcell cleanser and a cotton ball. It's like not having oily skin at all. Okay, so thank you very much over here on that. So in general, just thinking, okay, this is something that I'm using as an abrasion type of product to help remove pimples and smooth out my skin, etc., etc. So we would not normally think that a chemical that's in a product like that would also be in our foods or used in food processing or production. But it is, and it goes on all the time, and that's just one of the chemicals that we may or may not be familiar with. And then my thinking in terms of chemical uses in food, and we'll use the benzoyl peroxide as an example. We want to think back to the production of the benzoyl peroxide. Now it's found naturally in certain fruits and vegetables in very minute amounts. Okay, but it's also produced synthetically for industrial uses. And it's produced through whatever chemical process from toluene. Okay, toluene is a chemical that is a known carcinogen. So, wow, again, how is it that government entities would allow chemicals such as this to be used or turned into something else that's used into something that we use in our bodies or on our bodies? It happens, so these are the things that we need to be mindful of. So one thing that I started doing as we talk about the importance of reading labels is when I come across those big long words that I'm not at all familiar with, I write them down, and then I like to go to, how many of you are familiar with an MSDS? That's the material safety data sheets. If you see trucks going down the road, they'll have signs on the side of the trucks. You'll know if they're carrying chemicals or whatever. And they need to know the dangers and the composition of these chemicals that they're carrying, because if it gets into an accident, perhaps they're explosive, they can have some type of deleterious effect. So what I like to do, if I see some chemical on a label, whether it's on a food label or a product label that I'm using, household cleaners, for example, I like to just look at the MSDS. So I'm just gonna write that up here as a reminder for us.
Okay, and so we also offer financial fitness, where we have a certified instructor to come in and tell us how to be good stewards over our finances. Okay. Then we have our health and wellness seminars that teach us how to better feed our bodies, so that we can
what would you say?
All right. So the health and wellness seminars teach us how to feed our bodies and what we can put in them to fuel our bodies. All right. And
sort of sounds like when we talked about antibiotics a couple of weeks ago, that they are either bactericidal, where they kill the bacteria, or bacterial static, where they decrease the number of bacteria so we're not as sick. So the same premise right here. Now give me an example of some pests that we may want to get rid of. I heard ants.
Mice.
Okay, so let's just go rodents. Okay, we heard mice and rats. We heard bugs. So we'll go insects. Okay, and then let's think in terms of, say that again?
Snakes.
Okay, we'll come back to reptiles later. Okay, I like that right there. Okay, let's say fungus. Okay, because these are things that can interrupt plant life, crop growth, things like that with regards to food. So when we're talking about pesticides, again, we go back to our labeling and the ingredients. Okay. Now when you look at, let's just use household chemicals for an example. You look at your bottle of Lysol or bleach or whatever you use to clean, you generally see two types of ingredients, two classifications, I'll say. Guesses from anyone? Which two? Say that again. Ding, 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 ding. Active ingredients and inactive. Okay. All right, now, the next time you're using these, I want you to take a look, because most of these will list the active ingredients, okay? And we'll consider active ingredients as being dangerous or needing to approach or use with caution, or else why would they make it mandatory for that to be listed? Okay, so let's go over here with the active ingredients. Can we see that color? No? Yes? Okay. So we have active ingredients, inactive ingredients. Let me come back down here. Okay. And let's just say there may or may not be some contaminants in there just from the processing. Wait, hang on. Let's make a do-over, as my sister says. It sure is. And then metabolites. Metabolites are not an ingredient, but they are what's left over after the pesticides have come in contact with air, soil, or water. Okay, so while in our mind we're thinking the active ingredients are the toxic parts, the things that we should really be concerned with, we need to also recognize that the metabolites, the contaminants that are in there, and even some of the inactive ingredients can be just as toxic as the active ingredients. And normally the active ingredients usually make up about 5% of that pesticide, the remainder of it being classified as inactive. Now, let's also remember, across the board, you may see an inactive ingredient on one product listed as the active ingredient on another product. So that there tells you that there's some finesse going on with the labeling. Okay, so we should know that manufacturers are not required to list their inactive ingredients. Okay, so let's
Our college prep seminars help our youth to get prepared for college, as far as helping them to fill out applications, financial aid, yes, and things of that nature. It also helped the older generation to know what sites to go on and who they need to talk to and things like that.
Now I'm gonna tell you, before we even get started, as this is a highlight, we're just gonna break it in for the series. I never got your name. We never got your name. Can you give it to me, please?
I apologize. My name is Tamika Williams. I'm the coordinator for All About Fitness North Carolina.
Okay.
And this is my great friend right here, Miss Jennifer Gaskin.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question. Yeah, she's please speak.
Yeah, go, Jen.
My name is Jennifer Gaskin, and I am a member, team member of All About Fitness. I do the graphics and promotional,
Really?
most of the promotional things for All About Fitness.
Okay. How do you feel about the program that you guys do so far in the community? How does the community feel about it? The impact?
I think the impact on the community is awesome. I mean, it's a great atmosphere, a positive atmosphere. There is no way that you can go into that atmosphere and leave sad. You'll always leave the atmosphere uplifted and ready to conquer whatever challenges you face.
Sounds good to me.
The study done that showed synergy. Okay. Anyone know what synergy is? Okay, so let's think of this in mathematical terms. Who loves math? Okay, so additive effects we think of in these terms. 2 plus 2 is what? Okay, synergistic effects are such that the sum of the total is more than the two parts, or however many parts. Okay, so that would be something like 2 plus 2 equals 5. Okay, and an antagonistic effect would be what? Here we go. 2 plus 2 equals 3. So back in 1957, there was a study done, and these smart guys realized, holy cow, we have a couple of pesticides that we're using together on these apples or pears or corn or soy or whatever. And we just assumed up until now that it was an additive effect. No big deal. We assumed that the outcome was predictable and nobody's gonna get any sicker than we thought they would get based on toxic side effects. But they found out otherwise. They tested what today's standards of organic is may change 10 years from now. But now we're going back to reading the labels. You can look at products, and if it has the USDA seal on it as 100% organic, then it should be 100% organic, meaning everything, all the ingredients in it have been grown organically using no chemicals, nothing GMO related. It hasn't been irradiated. It hasn't been used or protected by the list of pesticides deemed safe by government agencies. Just think of it as a natural seed growing in the ground, the tomato growing, we pluck it, 100% organic, it gets the USDA seal of approval.
And back to the coordinator, is there anything that you want to say? Give any shout outs, anything like that?
Yes, I'd like to give a shout out to our president for his tireless effort of saturating the community with hope. Hope of being physically fit, hope of being financially fit, mentally fit, and most importantly, spiritually fit. That's what this All About Fitness is founded upon. So come join us at 245 Ruth Street, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday to see exactly what it is we do. And we welcome
That's
you.
right behind the Spring Lake Rec Center.
Okay, and did you get those times, please? Just one more time so that people can get it. And if there's a web page, telephone number, let everybody know what's going on.
All right. So the times are from 6 to 7:15, and you can look us up on Facebook at All About Fitness Club, or you can even friend me, Tamika Williams, and we'll get you hooked up.
No.
And please don't forget to like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, and all of the social media realms.
All right, we're just going to wrap it up real fast, and we're going to hold up until we get directly into the session.